Welcome to another episode of Impact Society, and I have two special guests on this podcast, and we're going to be dropping a wealth of knowledge. One of the guys is a marketing guy. He's also known as a motivational speaker, and his name is Dream Motivates. And I have another special guest, my mentor, Matt Sapala, three-time author, Marine veteran, and one of the top sales agents in the industry of life insurance and financial services. And so get ready to get some game on this podcast of Impact Society. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Impact Society, and I am ready to get this one started with two special guests. I'm going to have them introduce themselves real quick, and we're going to jump right into it. And so let's start with Dream real quick. Dream, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. First of all, shout out to Impact Society. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for, trusting Dream Media in the building. But yeah, my name is Dream Motivates, motivational speaker, entrepreneur coach. Got coached by some of the best. Shout out to my big brother, Johnny Wembry. And shout out to my other big brother, Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip-hop preacher. But
nice.
My life changed January 5th, 2013 when I lost my mother. And I needed motivation. I needed something. And I was Googling how to get over the loss of your mother. Like I literally Googled it. I actually Googled it in YouTube because I like looking at videos. And E.T.'s video popped up for some reason. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you be successful. And I just kept looking at all bro's videos. And it's a cool story of how we connected through God. But I stand here as a proud father, and I'll be married next month for 12 years, man.
All
so
right.
I'm proud of that. Especially.
Amen.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm having fun with it, and I love helping entrepreneurs grow their business. And I watch you, and you told me your story about what you're trying to do, and I'm just glad God is using me as a vessel to do it. So,
Amen.
I'm glad to be here, man. Get to meet my new big brother, Matt. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Back in the D-town.
Yeah, back in the day, for sure.
And that's my next special guest, and the honor that I have a privilege of being in his life and being mentored by this man. What attracted me to this guy, not in the wrong way, but was that he was a family man. He was a man of faith. He was looked at as a leader and a mentor. And so, I had my first conversation with him. And when I asked him why I should join him in business, because somebody was trying to connect me with him, and it wasn't about money or anything. It was literally his words were, "I don't need you, but if you're about impact and influence, this might be a good fit for you." And I shook his hand and I said, "Let's do it. I'm ready." Awesome. And so I want to introduce my mentor, Matt Sapala.
Hey, great to be here.
How you doing, sir?
Wilbanks in the house. So, Marine Corps combat veteran, 26 years now in business, which camera I'm looking at, boom, right there. 26 years in the insurance industry. I was an independent agent for first 11 years, so I knew sales. I knew the marketing aspect of direct mail. But I got really burnt out in my 10th, 11th year in sales because I look back at my life. I said, you know what? I did this for the last 10, 11 years. I look back at my life. What do I have to show for it? And I have a lot to show for it, bro. I had a lot of. I was making a living. I'm thankful and grateful for getting involved in the insurance business, but I wasn't building a life.
Right.
I was just selling until I learned how to scale. And that's when I came across Patrick Wilbanks, and he recruited me to his company. And make a long story short, in June of 2022, 6-7 years later, we exited the company, $300 million exit, and today our job is to take this company from a $300 million business to a $1 billion business. And so we host a Seven Figure Squad YouTube channel, and we're here excited to do the Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey, and the Keys book tour in San Antonio.
That's right. 15 years in real estate here in San Antonio. We actually did a podcast with one of my mentors out of real estate named Dayton Schrader. On that team, at the time, we were selling 650 homes a year with 5 active realtors, and then we had a staff around us. We had a thing called doctor nurse. So the doctor does 10-15% of the work. The nurses do the rest, but it's the doctor's job to go out there and be the mayor of the city, shake hands, kiss babies, and just build relationships.
Yeah, Rainman.
And I was able to then translate that into the industry of joining with you.
That's right.
And let's make a lot of impact.
100%.
I've got a couple of good questions for you. So being, serving in the Marine Corps to becoming one of the most recognized financial leaders in America, what was that moment that flipped the switch for you to not just chase wealth, but to really leave an impact and really take this business into systems, processes?
Just being in the Marine Corps, you don't do it for the money. You're just grateful and glad you got a job, and you get your paycheck every 2 weeks. But just seeing what the Marines, working. And I remember when guys he was like, man, this weekend we're gonna come in, we're gonna clean our weapons. Like, bro, let's clean our weapons. What the talking about? Let's have some beers. No, he was that. It wasn't about the money. It was about being squared away for Monday inspection. Right. He was willing to go above and beyond. Let's come in and square. Thursday night was field day. I mean, you come in after a day of work, and then you got to spend all night to clean your room in the barracks, and everything had to be squeaky clean. The windows, they came in the white glove, Q-tips, air vents, looking for any dust.
Asian parents do the same.
Yeah, right. Baseboards, everything had to be cleaned up with baseboards. We had to come in and buff the decks. And we had a special way of buffing and heating the wax and making sure it's really shiny. And then when you're done waxing, you dusted with pledge, the floor, the deck, right? So therefore, when the inspectors come in, they slip and fall. That's how we were messing with the inspectors, right? If these Marines could square it away this much, I know everything else is pretty much clean. But everything, no mold, nothing, crazy clean. But the reality was we weren't doing it for the paycheck. We're doing it because of the pride, the honor, the brotherhood. Fighting for your man and to the left and to the right of you. And so that's what we did. I think the turning point was a big one for me was, especially as I reflect what's going on in America today, is the reality that the Marines called each other either dark green or light green. There's no black, there's no white, there's no Latino, there's no Asian. It was dark green. Sergeant, the black guy. No, ain't no black guy here. It's dark green. Hey, the white lieutenant, it's a light green lieutenant. Okay. And I remember Lance Corporal Roy, he comes, we're in training, he looks at me, Filipino from Chicago, looks at Cooper, brother man from Dallas. He goes, first time in my entire life, I seen somebody that's not white.
Dang, that's crazy.
Well, bro, what are you talking about, man? We got to worry about this guy. We went through training, Marine Corps combat training, went for our first deployment. Both bad guys and bandages, came back with brothers. Why? Because you're unified by pain. We're unified by covering each other's back. That guy became my brother. I became his brother. To this day, we don't look at each other from Republican, Democrat. We don't look at white, black. We look at it as an American.
Right.
And we're here to do something. Because if the enemy don't look at us as black or white, why should we?
That's right.
I got a question. When did your conversations, but you too, Pat, when did your conversations start changing? Meaning this. Shout out to Johnny. I'll be on the phone with Johnny, and he says stuff crazy to me that I don't have any other conversation, anybody in the world. He'd be like, yeah, man, I'm in Egypt. Like, first of all, bro, we're not even just act like you just.
You just said that.
Yeah, so yeah, like what? Egypt? And he's my only. I mean, I know a lot of people that I talk to every now and then.
Yeah.
But on a consistent basis, these conversations are very different. When did your conversations start changing? Meaning this, like right now, you just said in your intro, you're taking a $1 million company to a $1 billion company. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand the billion word.
Yeah.
The billion word is real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when did that change?
I think it's an evolution, because I think the more you grow, I oftentimes in our financial workshops is, how many guys want to be financially free, financially independent? Everybody raises their hands. Better question, how many guys were raised by somebody financially independent? How many hands go up? None. So we all want something that nobody in our families ever gave to us, never showed us the way, let alone the language, right? So in other words, we were raised in a language of broken knees, but we want to live a life of million knees.
Broken knees.
Broken knees and million knees.
Broken knees.
Broken knees. It sounds like, right? Put that back, right?
Yeah.
Close that door.
You better figure it's right. You better finish your food because you know how many kids in Philippines are starving right now, right? That type of language, right? So that we were growing up with scarcity conversation, scarcity mindset. Because mindset, right? Language is a representative of it. So how you think things is how you can say things.
Yeah.
And so I'm very glad you're keen on that. For example, when you buy a new whip, right? What people say, yo, bro, nice whip. What year is that? What year is it? What do you ask? So what? It's a new whip. What do you care?
They sizing you up.
They size
now.
me up.
They
How much
sizing
is
you up.
insurance on it? What are you talking about?
They sizing you up.
Right. When I first bought my Rolls, right? Brother's like, yeah, nice Rolls, man. What year is it? What year? Have you ever even seen a Rolls in person?
They size you up.
You don't even know, if I gave you the year, would you even know what the different model is? You wouldn't know, so why are you asking? Yo, bro, what's the insurance like? Bro, if you've got to ask, you've got to ask, don't worry about it.
Right.
Because people don't buy a Rolls Royce worrying about, oh my gosh, how much is the insurance? Just bottom line, from a financial stewardship standpoint, financial management standpoint, if you got to buy a Rolls Royce, you got to worry about car insurance, maintenance. My brake job was 10 grand.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Brake job was 10 grand.
Yeah.
Series A, Series B in my Maybach, it's $800 every time we break it for an oil change.
Crazy.
Forget about it. If you got to worry about
conversation.
that, if you got to worry about that, don't buy it. Stick with your Hyundai. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, listen, we're going to pause for a cause because I think bro's going to teach y'all how to get to a Rolls Royce in a minute. Stay tuned. Impact Society.
Oh, man. You don't need another motivational quote. You don't need to just listen to another podcast. You don't need another motivational strategy session. What you really need is a conversation with someone that's been there and done that, because everybody's one conversation away, one breakthrough away, one strategy session away from absolutely changing your life. So if you want to connect with me, I'm on an app called Connect. One conversation away, one strategy away, one paradigm shift away from seeing a breakthrough in everything you got going on, from your finances, from your business. If you want a guaranteed surefire way to connect with me and get an answer to your dilemma, connect with me. I'm Connect. Now back to the podcast.
Welcome back to Impact Society. Listen, I'm just in here with some big giants in the building. I'm learning. I'm up here taking my notes, and I hope you guys are taking notes too. And we definitely need to figure out how we're going to get with Matt and get us a Rolls Royce too. But in the meantime,
Sure.
We're going to talk to my big brother, Pat.
Yes, sir.
That's the CEO and the creator and the visionary of Impact Society. Congratulations on that. And my question to you is, when did conversations start changing for you in your life? Meaning, like he said, what's the word, Matt? Broken
ease.
Broken ease. When did we go from broken ease to $1 million status? Like, we would talk about Bitcoins and stuff last night, and he just put me on game, like the new crypto stuff that's coming out, XRP. XRP, thank you. And I'm learning this stuff. So this is a new conversation that broken ease does not have.
You think of an XLR, like your
Right,
XLR
the jacks. Still learning. So when did it change for you?
Actually, so I got in real estate in 2000, late 2008, early 2009. And being in the real estate career actually was what started the journey. I picked up a mentor named Dayton Schrader. Dayton Schrader really changed a lot of my viewpoints. He challenged me on what I believed at that moment. And some of the things I had were like internal issues, but he would deal with them. And then one of the things he did was he sent me to this guy named Mark Harris. Mark Harris was a mortgage loan officer. And I remember sitting down with Mark, and he said, Pat, I think you're going to do great. But here's one thing I would change. You need to go listen to yourself. You need to go hear how you sound.
Wow.
And I didn't realize at the time when people were making fun of me and saying I sound like Boomhauer, that I really sound like Boomhauer. It wasn't, you have to hear yourself. And so some people hate hearing themselves.
Yeah.
But that's where that's where I realized I may not sound to you how I think I'm talking. And that was like the initial. And then the second guy was a guy named Josh Sigmund. Josh Sigmund is one of literally the top top mortgage loan officer in the nation. And I remember being at Josh's office, and I was invited to come. First of all, I was invited by him to come to the 18th hole and to come be a part of this networking group where, high level people were going to be. And I'm just little old me. I just joined the business. I always make the joke, I grew up po. I wish I could afford the OR so it could just be poor, but we grew up po. And so having this opportunity to go network with these, wealthy people, I instantly said, I got to go buy a suit and everything. And I dressed to the nines just to show up to this networking event. And when I got there, I was brokenhearted because while I was the best dressed, I was the brokest in the room.
Wow.
And I remember looking down at Josh's shoes, and I'm like, this guy's got 2 assistants, and his shoes look scuffed and everything.
Yeah.
And I said, Josh, you have 2 assistants. I mean, you can easily have them go get you shoes. He said, Pat, is it about wealth building or is it about getting some nice shoes so I can look
Man,
good?
come on, man.
And it was a paradigm shift because I had always thought that,
Yeah.
you go get some money so you can show off. And there's, hidden wealth, or what he said, wealth whispers, wealth whispers and riches speak loud. So people think they want to get rich.
Wealth
So they think, and they want to yell and they want to, flash and all this stuff. And you're putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into depreciating things that you think is gaining value. Those diamonds don't gain value, right? And so it was a paradigm shift. And then that paradigm shift of realizing that what I thought was wealth or what I thought was is not it, and I have to go back to the drawing board and find out what really matters. And then I realized like what really matters when I look at successful people, good family men,
Yeah.
good morals.
Yeah.
They're always chasing knowledge, wanting to, And one of my favorite quotes was from Seneca. He said, "You are the marble and the sculptor." And so you're shaping yourself every day. And I had to realize some of the things I was either holding on to, belief systems I was holding on to, habits I was holding on to. I had another guy challenge me one time. He said, because I had a group of friends that I wanted to carry with me to that level. Problem is, they were the shackles to my feet because they didn't want to change their mindset. They didn't want to, level up. And I remember them saying, "Man, Pat, you changed. Money changed you." And I sat there and thought about it, and I said, money didn't change me. I had to change to go get money. Ooh. And Jim Rohn's quote, I love Jim Rohn's quote. He says, "Don't chase $1 million to get the $1 million, but chase the $1 million to become the man it took to get the $1 million." And those things started changing my whole attitude in life, period. And so at that point, it wasn't about the money. And that's actually the conversation when I met Matt. I remember I had just went through a season where my brokerage was stolen by a business partner, a backstabbing business partner of mine. Jeez. And then right after that, I lost my investment company due to one of my business partners being murdered in the middle of us merging the companies. So he had all the assets that I had purchased and put in his company. He was adding me to the company. He died before he could finish adding. The attorney didn't honor it. And anyways, I lost everything. And so now I'm in my backyard, and I'm either contemplating suicide. Wow. So my family can file on the insurance and recoup what I lost because of my mistakes of choosing, these business partners. And then, or I can go get it back in blood. The old Pat was shaking on the doorknob, and I can hear him, whispering to open up that door. But I remember there's a scripture that says, "A spirit leaves a man and goes and tries to find rest, but won't find any. When it comes back, it'll say, I will go back to my house." And I realized sometimes when you think negative, like you're thinking like, I can't do this. Yeah. I'm not worthy. Yeah. It might not be you. It might be a demon. Whoa. It might be a spirit. And that spirit left, but came back because it's been with you so long, it speaks in first person. And so it says, I can't, or I won't be able to do this, or people are looking down at me. You can hear an audible voice talking to you. You got to check that. And that scripture also opened me up to looking at that. And so, just various things that started my progression of changing. But in that, my wife came outside and she said, "Pat, I just want to know how we're going to move forward." And I said, "Look, I chase money. I chase, real estate, 15 years, I chased money. I tried. I did all that. But what I want to do moving forward is if it's not about impact and influence, I don't want to do it." And I remember when I met Matt for the first time in Dallas, there was this guy hits me up on social media, and I had just got done reading the book Laser Fund by a guy named Doug Andrews. And I actually, since I'm in real estate, I can, look people up. So I look up Doug, call him. He said, "Pat, I'm not looking to bring anybody on, but where are you located?" I said, "I'm in Texas." He said, "Cool, I got a guy that I've been with since 2004 named Matt Spall. He just moved to Dallas, Texas. Go find him." Click. I was like,
sheesh,
I was like, this guy. But 1 week later, this guy calls me. We're having a conversation. We've been going back and forth arguing on social media. Like literally, I'm arguing with this guy. Like he'll post something, and I'm like, let me challenge your mindset. And then one day he calls me, and we're having a conversation, and he says, "Pat, what's your 5-year goal?" And I said, "I don't have a 5-year goal right now. I got a 1-year goal." He said, "What's your 1-year goal?" I said, "I got to find this guy named Matt Sapala." He said, "What do you know about Matt?" I said, I don't know anything about Matt. I just know Doug Andrews told me to find him, and I found a video where he was remixing a video by Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka was being interviewed by DJ Academics, and I saw that video, and I'm just learning about this guy. I don't know who he is yet, and he says, well, if I can get you a meeting with Matt, how fast can you make it to Dallas, Texas? And I said, shoot, I could be there tomorrow. This was on a Monday. He told me to come out on a Tuesday.
Wow.
He said, come a little bit early, come around 6:30, get you to shake his hand and stuff, and then we'll probably go for cigars after. So I show up to Dallas. I enjoy everything, right? I'm like, holy moly, this is something like the culture, everything. And then at cigars, we get done. Like we spent hours talking over cigars, and then I'm getting ready to leave. I stand up. I'm getting ready to leave, and I said, Matt, why should I join you? He said, you don't have to. I don't need you. But if you're about impact and influence, we might be a good fit. And I shook his hand, and I said, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Do you remember that conversation, Matt?
I do.
Use the word
But
impact
I
and
didn't
influence.
know there was that significant to him, though. I do remember the conversation. I didn't realize it was that impactful.
That's crazy.
So some of the things that I'm very careful, as a leader, is what I encourage when I talk to pastors and even these celebrities that are online, or Hollywood celebrities, or even these athletes. The smallest words you have with people can either crush or give life. And you don't think if it's even impactful. It is. And so I didn't think that, but my setting is, let me always, by my default, so when I'm meeting new people in our office, let me have something. And here it is as a manifestation, because he did something with that seed.
Well, look, watch this. So this was 45 days ago, maybe a little bit more. So I'm in Dallas in my studio.
Okay.
Pat comes into the studio. I never met him. And he's interviewed. Does he know Don?
No, yeah. Well, Don, I actually invited Don to the Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey in Dallas. So he showed up,
Don
but I don't
Davis.
think he ever met him that night.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So remember that name, Don Davis. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, who's this guy? And so I'm looking at Pat, and I'm like, okay, this dude's okay, super clean. And Pat was like, he had this real dope blue shirt on, real crispy. I mean, my boy was super crispy. And I'm recording, and while I'm recording, shout out to my boy Caden and Dame, everybody in the back. I'm learning, like I'm looking, and Pat is dropping stuff like pow, pow, pow. I'm like, this dude is on fire. I couldn't wait for the camera to cut off, man. I was like, yeah. I said, listen, man, all I know is you probably one of the most fluent people. I know this business because a lot of my clients call me to do this. I do the back end office stuff. I build their teams for them. I do all the stuff in the back end for them. I'm a nerd with marketing, and I was like, man, I want to help you build what you're doing. I'm gonna show you how to build it. And I said, I want you to meet up with me tomorrow. I think it was the next day.
Yeah.
And I said, God gave me a vision. I want to show it to you. Tell me what you think. So I went home and I designed. I designed and came up with the name, but it wasn't me. It was God. So I don't take no credit for it. And I couldn't sleep until I finished it. And I showed it to him the next day, and he had this look like.
Yeah, because you got to tell that story. So he when I got there, he was like, "Look, I'm not. I don't want to say anything.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yep.
I want you to just
tell
open up.
me, yeah, because I
And
want to make
as
sure I
soon
was
as
in
God
alignment.
tells me, I'm going to show you something, and I just start talking. This is who I'm about. This is what I'm trying to do. This is, my movement that I'm going to create, and da 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 da. And then he's like, "Hold on, say what you just said." I said, "I'm going to create impact," and he hit the keyboard and impact society.
Yeah.
And he's like, "God showed
True
me this."
story, bro.
I love it, bro.
True
He's like, "God
story.
showed me
I love
this."
it.
And then I heard your name a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
And then I heard.
And that logo, the four hands there, it's
Yeah,
teamwork.
yeah. And
People come together.
then the next day after that, I go at the house, and my guy, because we do, I'm a home builder, so we do theaters for people, we do all kind of stuff. And my guy was like, man, this just came back from this dope event, man. You should have came, Dream. You should have been there. I was out of town doing something, and it's this dude named Matt, and this. I said, man, hold on, man. What's Matt what? Because I remember you just telling me about some cigars and whiskey. And then he just said, yeah, it's a cigar. Well, like, what is this, a club? And he was like, yeah. And then he said your name. I was like, wait a minute, bro.
It's awesome.
And it just kept on. And then I said something. And then Johnny said something. Yeah, I hosted. He said, yeah, I hosted it. So here it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And so here we are with San Antonio in the background, embracing you and your vision, being here for you today, man.
Love it.
So I know the sacrifices that you've been going through with your daughter and your family, and so many things has been trying to derail your vision. But today is God's confirmation that your coach is here with you to support you.
Yeah, I believe in him, man.
For your today.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
You keep on grinding.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because that's actually one of my questions. Because, you know, I gained a lot of momentum very early. Like so I'm in San Antonio. I'm going to Dallas every Tuesday and Saturday, and I'm on the leaderboards. I'm on the leaderboards every week. And then he got up one week because every time you hit leaderboards, you get to sit up in the front. So I'm sitting up there with my foot like this, enjoying the couch by myself, like And he goes, he's not even from Dallas, and he's got more butts and seats, and he's like getting on everybody, right? And I'm like, I'm getting, you know, because I believe in this. I want to gain momentum. I want to leave impact, and but then right after that, I hit marketing director. The upline at the time, the guy that was actually, you know, because I'm directing Matt now, but at the time I had there was a guy causing problems in the base shop. Then, and then my daughter passes, right? And there was one thing after another, and you got to realize even before that, I lost my brokerage. I lost an investment company.
Jesus.
Lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in just a couple years.
Yeah.
And when I say devastated,
I can.
I'm trying to just keep overcoming, right? And this is my mindset. You ready? My mindset is you're not taking my cornbread. And I want to wake up every morning when I set my foot on the ground. I want the devil to go, oh crap, he's up again.
Yeah.
And so no matter what I'm going through in life, I wait on that. I wait on the morning conversation I have with myself. That I could, like, literally right today I'm on 45 minutes of sleep.
For sure.
And when he came in and said, Pat, let's go, I'm up.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm up to beat the devil. He don't take time off. I shouldn't either, right? And so one of my questions is, in your journey, what was the hardest season financially, or how did you mentally, and it didn't have to be financial, just hardest season, right? Because I know we share a similar story. I was a single father of 3 kids. You were a single father of 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to make ends meet. How did you mentally overcome that pressure and keep pushing forward?
Yeah, I mean, that was my whole season. The whole 2000s was probably the toughest, probably the mid-2006 to 2011 was probably the toughest season because things just started taking off. I started learning how to do insurance. I started learning how to do new craft. Okay, I'm in a rhythm now. And then, you know, the situation, me going down to family court, I was just talking to Dave about that right now. We're going to family court. Next, you know, she wants to take me for child support. And I got custody of the kids.
Wow.
I got custody of the kids. And they're putting me to child support court. And how are you doing this? They're in my residential neighborhood because I fought to be in this neighborhood to give our kids better access to education. Now you want to come to me for child support? Okay, well, you want to play that game? We'll play that game. I doubled down on my faith. And my faith said, double down in your business. And what that meant was I was in a church where it was a Pentecostal type of church where you're involved in every ministry. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 services. I was in church every day.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? I'm not serving my first ministry.
The house.
That's right. My home, my kids. I mean, everybody else's kids but mine. I mean, the kids are with me while I'm at these activities, but I'm not really, you know, they're just like a bunch of kids. My kids are a bunch of kids around other kids. No, I was meant to shepherd specifically and lead my kids, my family.
Right.
And so once I did that, I got clarity because I was busy being busy. Even inside the church, it can get you busy. Just because you're going to church tomorrow doesn't make you more holy. And just because I was in the ministry work doesn't mean I'm earning my way to heaven. You can't earn your way to heaven.
Right.
You can't be a better Christian than anybody. Right.
So.
It's about you honoring your God-given ability, not comparing yourself to everybody in the church. And then I remember going through it, and I got a big windfall in the business. And I'm tithing at the church. I'm with all my normal people. I hang around at the church, and back then people still wrote checks. So I brought my checkbook to the church. I'm writing a check, my tithes and offering. And people around me just putting, you have you ever been around somebody in church, they just pretend like they put their hand in the basket.
For sure.
Like that. And There's nothing in there. But they got to put their hand in there.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you can fake man, but you can't fake God. Wait. I can see what you're doing. Anyway, and I wrote a check. I'm a single dad, 3 kids. I wrote a check, $5,000 that week, right?
Wow.
And people are like, what are you doing? I said, it's 10%.
Whoa.
What? It sized me up. And after that, the word got out. Matt's rich. He's balling now. Go ask him for money. Instead of asking him how to make money, church's like, how do I get money? And so, because I doubled out my faith, I doubled out my business, and then through that season, I came to the scripture in 2 Corinthians. It goes like this. It says, you might be pressed, but not crushed. Right? You may be perplexed, but not in despair. You may be persecuted, but not abandoned. You may be struck down, but never destroyed.
That's right.
I'm like, let's go. Strike me down. You kill me. You kill me in court, but you can't kill me.
Right.
You might kill me in my bankruptcy, but you can't kill me.
That's right.
You might kill my relationship that I'm trying to establish with my children, but you can't kill the man that I am. And
That's what's up, bro.
That's what
I love that.
started turning things around. So and after that, I said, how do I go from a one-man operation to a multi-man operation? How to scale a business? That's when things started changing around too. This is when my faith took a different route, because being in business means that you're dealing with people. A lot of guys go, I don't want to deal with people. That means you're not built for business. Stay self-employed. Stay with a one-man operation. But if you really want to build a business, you really want to build impact, you really want to build influence, you got to learn how to deal with human nature. You got to deal with people, white, black, brown, and more importantly, deal with people that don't agree with you.
And that's tough.
Oh, very tough.
That's tough. Different personalities.
Yeah.
People are very, they're going to say, I mean, if you have some bad news, it travels lightning speed. You do some good, it's a slow molasses, bro. Like nobody gives something happens to Cardi B and Offset and whatever they're doing is all over the place.
Like this month is Filipino American History Month, right? They're honoring Filipinos. So all the Filipinos I've known, now they're getting more up to speed on social media, right? And they're talking about our Filipino American history. And then this narrative, I don't think it's an ethnic thing. I don't think it's a white thing or Latino thing. I think it's a generation thing. Because you know what they've been talking about lately in this generation? How oppressed they are.
Yeah.
How much of a victim they are. Like, who's the biggest victim?
Right.
Which ethnic group is the biggest oppressed, right? Critical race theory. They make it like a critical race fact. It's theory.
Right.
It's a theory that doesn't work. Because here's what I realized. You want to make an impact and influence? Did Jesus ask with only Gentiles, only Jews? Was it Jews and Gentiles?
Right.
Is everybody that he wanted to hear? He unified everybody. So your words got to be a unifying type of message. Yeah, you got to speak the truth. But through that truth, you're going to lose certain people, but at the same time, it's going to be replaced. That was my prayer, my 50th birthday, a couple of years ago. I said, Lord, remove people from my life that I'm not meant to serve.
That. It's called pruning.
That's right.
And
Pruning.
Pruning is...
And the process is painful.
Yeah, it's powerful and painful at the same time. I went through a pruning process in my life, and probably like 2 years before I met you, and I was asking God to bring in more people. And for a minute, me and Johnny, I haven't talked to him for a minute. I called Johnny and said, yeah, it's about to hurt. He said, because you love them.
Yeah.
You love these people.
Yeah.
But they're not on the same elevator floor as you.
I think that's the toughest part about being a new entrepreneur. You know, you're starting to get, and the natural people you talk to, your friends and family, coworkers, frat brothers, sorority sisters, military veterans that you impart, with guys who you're in sports with, and your big idea, they're like, bro, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. That's it. Good. But they don't support you, don't buy from you, they don't share your stuff on social media, they don't comment on that stuff. It's probably one of the hardest things.
It's very hard.
And in that process, you identify, okay, who's with me now during the upstart? And actually, you want to do that because you don't want to spend the rest of your life with a bunch of wannabes that you try to be someone in your life. Ain't nobody in your life. But the person, I was talking to them outside, and so there's 2 tribes you're a part of your entire life. Number one is a family that you were raised in, that's your relatives, you share DNA with. There's your cousins, your aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. You can't replace that, but those are your relatives. The family is who believes in you. And most times,
damn.
The sad part about it is your family sometimes, until you're successful, they don't believe in you.
That's right.
You got a bunch of strangers. I got a Patrick Wilbanks asking for people. And my first conversation with him is about how much he can make an influence and impact. Why? Because I can now retrospect that impact. I'm not saying, you can't do this. You can't do this. I'm like, do you want to make an impact and influence? He's willing more to listen to me than even my own family members that we were shorties with.
I want to talk on that too, because the season that I went through the last couple of years, it was like birthing pains.
Yeah.
And my wife took a class because she did midwifery. We didn't go like mainstream hospitals. We went midwifery, like the most ancient form of, somebody helping you give birth. And one of the ladies, they were talking about, that there's going to be an end, but you just have to keep your mindset on that there's an end coming. Because if you don't, and all you think about is the pain, you may give up in the pain, right? They even did a study where they had these mice drowning, and the mice that never got any glimpse of hope, they drowned faster than the ones that you could go in and give them a little hope. They could hold on for hours more than the other one. That being said, I had heard a quote long time ago, and it was basically saying the difference between a dog and an elephant. The dog is telling the elephant, "Are you sure you're pregnant?" Because a dog can, pop out litters of babies and do that 3 to 4 times a year, right? And so this dog keeps going back to the elephant, like, "Are you sure you're pregnant?" And I think sometimes when we're trying to chase this end goal of what we believe is success, and really my success just doesn't look like yours. You're dropping puppies, but when I drop this elephant, we're leaving impact. The earth's gonna feel it.
Yeah.
The cars have to stop.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna stop traffic when we do this, and that's what I hold on to. Going back to that, what's that conversation? My inner conversation for me is, it doesn't matter what you think. If you think I'm going slow right now, if you think I'm not doing it doesn't matter what you think. I know what God's doing in my life.
Yes.
And I'm in my birthing season, but I'm dropping this baby, and we're about to leave some impact, man.
Man, I got a question for you, bro. And you're the perfect person to this. I had to figure out who could I ask. Because I asked Johnny, but he gave me some type of riddle. I'm still trying to figure out.
He said a riddle.
They're like, so, man, is this some type of Jedi moment you're trying to have with me, bro? But this is the question.
Think about this.
And I want y'all to, viewers, I want y'all to comment on this. So today, Matt, you drive a Rolls Royce. Mm-hmm. So what has been the change? And I'm big on this because I'm a marketing guy. Mm-hmm. On perception.
Yeah.
In your career and where you are now. And I want you to really think about this answer, because if I see 2 people drive up.
Yep.
Because they say you never get a second chance in your first impression. Mm-hmm. So if I see 2 people drive up at the same time, simultaneously, no disrespect, don't come for me. If one person is in the Honda Accord, great cars. And the other person, they both drove up. And they both had on, let's say they both had on the same suit. Uh-huh. Ironically, had on the same suit. But the other one got out of a Rolls Royce. Both of them are brand new.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure this part of my life out right now, right? Because I get torn. Me and Pat, I think we had a cool discussion on that. So I want you to come in on this, and I want people to comment on this too. Where did you start seeing a change in your income, your everything, or is it just the same when you start saying, you know what, I'm making some money now, let me go buy, you probably have some other crazy cars too. You got a Rolls Royce, chances are you probably got some crazy stuff too. Did anything change, or is this like, man?
It did.
Please talk on that. Speak on that, because
it did.
I'm trying to. I get people just coming for me left, right about this subject.
And I want to disclaim: this is not a reason for you to go out in debt.
Right.
What I'm about to say, people justify as, "Oh, Matt told me to go get a Rolls Royce or get a brand new car." What I'm about to say, I want to press by saying, I'm not telling you going into debt.
Yeah.
Here's
disclaimer.
Here's my disclaimer. I will say though, I don't agree with it, but it's our human nature to judge a book by its cover. We always will. That's why the whole thing is perception is reality until they really understand who you are. Then the perception changes. So if I'm going to be looking at 2 guys and are ready to do business and they both come out the same suit but 2 different cars, my natural perception is to, okay, Rolls Royce, what's up? Okay, versus Kia.
Correct.
Right? So I'm a marketer, I'm an entrepreneur, and my market, sadly, is still enamored by that. Now, the truth be told, I can't stand my Rolls Royce. Every time I turn that thing on, my 5th ignition, 8th ignition, I've had 2 of them. Every time I turn it on, every 10, 15th time I turn on the car, something's wrong with it. Jesus. Being the most annoying thing. You think a $400,000 car, solid. Something's going on with that thing. Malfunction light here, malfunction light. What is this? It's like a T set. It's like a China T set.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
And so I love my Mercedes. I got the Maybach now. That's the daily. My former daily was an AMG, the GLS 63, the SUV. I love my Mercedes. I can beat that thing up, right? I can fly low key but you pull up in a Rolls Royce. Here's the challenge though.
Yeah.
People always, oh, Rolls Royce, big tipper,
Yeah.
right? You want to leave us in front? Yeah, I want to leave in front. Extra tip? Shit, yes, right? And so I don't even like telling people what I drive. I don't like telling people where I live. It's automatically a thing. I can charge this guy more.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But also, if you are doing business with somebody and they do pull up in a Rolls Royce and you have a legit business decision, you're around friends. I've seen this too. There's also a lot of posers with that. People say, okay, I buy into it. And everything that they did, they bought the Rolls Royce. For me, buying a Rolls Royce is like buying a cheeseburger. I could buy 10 of them. I could buy 20 of them. Buying a Rolls Royce is no big deal to me. But for everybody, that's everything. The perfect credit.
Yeah.
Loan, lease,
Right.
down payment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, $5,000 a month. And that impacts them. It don't impact me. Mm-hmm. But plus, I got a hack on how to buy a car. By the way, 7-figure squad. How do I drive a Rolls Royce for $25 a month? That's why you got to stay tuned to Impact Society.
Impact
Get
Society.
stuff like this.
That's right.
But I did notice a change in perception.
I need you to, can you help me with that?
So when people
That's
come
why
into
I
our
want to
office-
go in
yeah.
with you. Like, because you went from, let's go back, rewind.
I was about
What
to
was
say,
it, Honda Accord? What were you in?
I was driving a Chrysler 300.
Okay, Chrysler 300.
Yep.
Then you got to the Benz.
Right. There's levels to this game, right?
Levels,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Did it change?
Yeah. Bro, I have $500K in my bank account. I got denied a car credit for a $100,000 car loan
Wow.
because I didn't have any credit history of a $100,000 car loan.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, right? I told the guy, you see what I have in my bank account. I got $500K. I can buy this car 5 times over. And that's just one of my checking accounts. He goes, well, yeah, but you don't have any car credit. You never loaned the car more than $50,000, and that was 8 years ago.
I had a guy, and this one made me have to ask this question. And then, Pat, I want you to chime in. I had a guy, I can't say his name, and he crushed me with this. He stung me. I was super proud. The new Lexus GS 300 that came out, and I got it. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lexus. And he pulls. I was like, hey man, come meet me. Now he does multi-level marketing.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna say the company. So he pulls up. Ironically, he buys a new car.
Mm-hmm.
He bought the new Porsche Panamera 911,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, that's a nice car, Dream." He was like, "Yeah, how much you pay a month?" I was like, $650 a month. You know what I'm saying? Got good credit. He was like, "Yeah, I pay $2,800 a month, but I really don't have a car payment." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I'm gonna show you."
Yeah.
And we pull up in front of the place where they had the meeting.
Uh-huh.
And as he get out the car, it was crazy because it just came out. So everybody was like taking pictures in front of the car, and all these people, boo, 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 and they kept on saying, "Man, what do you do?" Now I pulled up right behind him.
Right.
Nobody asked me what I did.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me what I did. And then he was giving out his number.
Sure.
He was giving out his number. He like,
Yeah.
call me later, call me later, call me
Yeah.
later, call me later, call me later.
Yeah.
And then everybody left and he looked at me and put his arm around me. He said, "That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I don't have a car payment."
That's right. But he does. But he does have a car, but he doesn't.
right.
The craziest
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
That-
It's
does
not
that
truthful
make
all the way
sense?
through. I would say that.
Yeah.
You're talking to a financial guy. He does have a car payment. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong message. He
Correct.
does have a car payment, but he doesn't have business to cover it. The philosophy, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your, but because you gave it to me.
Yeah, because, okay, so let me also say this, because I know this part to an extent.
Yeah.
Matt was, I think, a Mill Point base shop at the time, but you were still living,
I'm still renting.
still renting.
Wow. With the Benz.
With the Cadillac. That's right. Cadillac and a Benz.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, so there is levels, right? And now going back to that too, though, I had learned how to buy a car,
Yep.
same way. And so when I bought this car, for instance, and I came from the car industry before I got in real estate, I went and got a $45,000 vehicle for $20,000 because I'm bringing cash, because I'm doing a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right,
Remember
I'm
you told
buying
me
it a
that.
certain way. I'm going to
The way
make
you
me
buying
for
it.
this,
Yeah.
and so I'm negotiating price because I'm going to give you cash, and so I have this whole way I'm buying a car. That being said, I remember I pulled up at my real estate brokerage. Right, I just bought this big old building, I've got all these agents, and I remember that I had 5 miles on this car, a Hyundai Azera. It was a 2017. I bought it in 2019. Sticker price said $45,000. I got $20,000 out the door.
Wow.
Well, $25,000 out the door, tax, title, license, and they took my trade, right? And when I pull up, one of my top agents pulls up in a Porsche Panamera, $250,000 car.
Here we go.
He jumps out. He goes, Pat, that's your car? I said, yes. He said, dude, I need you to upgrade your car.
Yeah.
I said, why? He said, I'm driving a Porsche Panamera. My last broker pulled up in a Lamborghini. And I said, that's cool. Y'all do stuff different with your money. I pulled up in a Hyundai, but you pulled up at my brokerage.
Ooh.
And so I do get it.
Put up in my broker.
I do get it.
Yeah.
I'm also, I believe in filters. Like even our company where we're at, it
Yeah.
teaches on filters and how to, I believe, like for me, I want to work with you because I want to work with you. But if you don't want to work with me because I don't fit a mold or like a perception or whatever, then cool. I don't necessarily want to work with you then.
Yeah.
Because I want to work with you because I bring value.
Yeah.
Because the information I have or, you know, the care that I want to give or the impact I want to create, I don't want you to work with me only because I have.
Yeah.
Because I've got a, bro, this is just a
For sure.
below, but I've got nicer watches.
Oh, Pat's the real deal. Pat has the conversation we done had. I'm like, yo, you on another level.
I will say this too: the fastest way, from a financial perspective, the fastest way for people to do go broke is to keep buying cars.
Yes.
That's the fastest way people go broke because you're paying for something,
That's
and most people don't buy it
appreciate
cash. They buy it on a loan or lease,
Correct.
and it depreciates in value.
Terrible.
But you're paying an appreciating payment or
Correct.
appreciating balance that grows over time. The same.
Yes.
And the average, according to Edmunds.com, the average car payment now, 25% of all car payments right now is $1,000 a month.
Correct. That is
Crazy,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
And then on top of it, they started extending these loans. Now these are 84-month loans.
Instead of 60 months.
84-month loans?
That
Are
you're
you
paying
kidding
on
me?
this for.
That is a seven-year car
Yeah.
note. And so the fastest way for people to go broke and never build net worth is having a renter's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You rent the car and rent the house. And speaking of real estate, you know, big reason I really want people to really rethink home ownership. And he brought up a point. The reason why I was renting for a minute, because I was renting with purpose. Meaning we're saving the difference. We're feeding the machine.
Got you.
So if our mortgage payment was $5,000 a month, but my rent was only $3,000, I'm paying that $2,000 and finding staff to hire
Gotcha.
or a marketing campaign.
Got you.
I'm feeding the machine. So now my income go to $8,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000,
Right.
and it's $3,000 payment that we're investing that difference. We're not spending
Correct.
it. People spend the difference.
Correct.
So while we're feeding the machine, now our first house, man, my wife's first house in her mid-30s is a $3 million house in Frisco, Texas. Across the street from us is a basketball player here, number one cardiologist here, SaaS software, Fortune 50 CEO, and then us.
Exactly.
Right? That's my wife's first house.
Now,
Boom.
Now
Impact.
that going to back to my other question for both of you guys, because my second, I did 3 conferences, and the third conference was called Proximity. Mm-hmm. And the Proximity Conference.
Sure.
Because I definitely want to do it with both of y'all. Side note, we'll talk about that later. And I was telling people the power of just being in the room. And I was telling Kaden that's here now.
Yep.
I like, Kaden, you're literally in a proximity, bro. Embrace what you're in.
Yeah.
You have no idea, like, who you about to go pick up from the airport. Like, understand your proximity. So you being over there, obviously you have good schooling for your children. Mm-hmm. You're down the street from other people that you're having conversations with.
Sure.
And what's the value in that? Because I had a guy, one of my friends from the hood, man, sometimes it was the pruning.
Yeah.
They was trying to come at me because I was telling them that they should join Lifetime. I work at a Lifetime.
Nice. Love it. Love Lifetime.
Yeah, and they was like, well, who you think you are, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's Fitness Connection got the same weights for $19 a month. Like, who you think you are? I said, bro, I don't have and I don't. I use that same principle.
Yeah.
I don't pay a month.
Yeah.
Because every time, bro, God, I believe it's God, brings me somebody at Lifetime, reads my T-shirt, sees something about my brands, see my post or whatever, and like, hey, bro, what do you do again? And I tell them what I do and say, bro, I've been looking for somebody to do marketing, and then next thing I do, boom, and God provides proximity. So you're now in proximity, and it costs money, but I'm pretty sure you done did business with some of your neighbors.
Yeah. I mean, I'm name dropping because he allowed me to. I'm not just the flex, but I'm at the gym at the Lifetime Fitness in Frisco. I see a guy working out, and I'm like, bro, that's the guy. That guy's a wrestler. My trainer goes, man, that's Bobby Lashley, the Almighty.
That's crazy.
Right. So so my guy who I'm coaching how to be a trainer to create his own business as a trainer. So how often do you talk to people? I'm nervous to talk to people. Let me show you something. Right. So I show him, hey Bobby, listen, when you're doing on all the way down your tricep, do you squeeze on the outside or just kind of keep it tight with the elbows? Because I like squeezing out because I like feeling that tricep.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, oh, bro, listen, I appreciate I saw that also on your Instagram that you're also a veteran, so thank you for your service. And we just got to talking. Connected on a tricep extension. We connected on being a veteran.
It's over.
Make a long story short, we connect. Make a long story short, he wants to have lunch. I bring one of my guys. Bring my guy so he sees how I have lunch with a guy of this caliber and stature. And next, Bobby's like, listen, man, I love life insurance.
This is crazy.
Hook it up. We talked about him buying life insurance from me on a podcast. And even a guy like that, the Almighty, is still uneducated, unaware, but he knows he needs to get educated on the basis of building a solid financial foundation with insurance and proximity. And then simultaneously, I'll go back the next month. Bobby's there, and the Super Bowl champion Steve Weatherford is there working out. So I got a Super Bowl champ, WWE champion wrestler, and then PhD, no high school diploma, no college degree, because of proximity.
And be mindful, Lifetime. For those who don't know, it's $175 a month, $179 a month. Now
I pay $400. I pay $400 for my kids. Yeah,
But to be a diamond member or whatever, to be at all of them, is like $400 a month for one person.
Yeah.
But if you the return on investment for $400 a month, so you can go work out with, run into people like you guys, and just say, hey, what's up with the tricep expansion? And by the way, I'm Dream Motivates. Nice to meet you. What's the value of that? Why people don't look at that?
Look, I want to shout out the 5 Gotchas by Matt Sapala because it talks about those pitfalls of money. What we're doing with money. All right, and so one of the things what we got coming up with Keep the Keys, for instance, is buying real estate. We had a question actually pop up on the live that we did on Instagram
last night,
and one of the ladies said, "I thought mortgage insurance, if something happens to the spouse, that's what keeps the other spouse in the house."
Wow.
I said,
"Wow,
not at all.
That's right.
Mortgage insurance, literally only
PMI. Yeah.
The only thing that it does is it allows a lower buy-in. So instead of 5, 10, 20% down payment, you could come with 3.5.
Whoa.
Now, when you get that FHA loan and you have that privatized mortgage insurance, that PMI,
they force it on you.
They force it on you. Yeah. Now, if you go and get a 10% down payment, 20% down payment, like 20% down payment, conventional, no PMI. Right. You do 10%, it'll have it, but when you hit 20%, it'll fall off. You want a loan structure like that. When they're incentivizing you supposedly by telling you to buy this PMI, but PMI doesn't protect you at all. It literally only protects the bank. And it helps create equity for the bank.
Can you take the PMI out?
No, not on an FHA loan.
But on a conventional, you can.
Yes, on a conventional. That's why I'm saying structured that way. Now, that being said, and going back to what he was talking about earlier, I like to buy a house on a interest-only loan. Because let's say I had a $2,000 mortgage, right? And if I did a interest-only loan, let's say that interest is only $1,000 a month. The $1,000 difference, I'm going to put it into my policy that's actually building equity for me. I don't want to give that extra $1,000 to the bank because if it's trapped in a home, and I say trapped in a home, 15-year real estate guy, I'm letting you know right now, life throws you a curveball, you may not qualify for that equity. Number 2, the market crashes or something, you might lose that equity. Yeah. And when I see people when they get older and they're trying to get ready for retirement, they want to have this house paid off, I'm like, no, you do not want to have a house. I mean, you can if you have other money. But you don't want to have all this equity found in your home and have this paid off home because life throws you a curveball. How are you going to touch that? You're retired. How are you going to touch that? And what I see, and it breaks my heart when I see it, is when elderly people, they're getting ready to retire, they have to do a reverse mortgage in order to receive income from that mortgage. Wow. But you're probably going to reverse mortgage for 5, 10 years and the bank's going to take it. You paid 30 years on that or more, and in 5, 10 years they're going to take it back.
And this is a part of Keep the Keys.
Yeah, Or the alternative is they have the house completely paid off, but nobody's around to take care of them. So they got to go into a retirement community or retirement home.
That's great.
But if they want to go into Medicaid forces them to spend down the equity inside their house. So let's say they sell the house, let's say a $300,000-$400,000 house, they can go into a nursing home, but they got to pay for themselves for another 4 or 5 years. from that equity. So in other words, they're draining their equity to pay a nursing home. The whole time they could have owned it, they could have been earning money on that $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 that was in there. Because there's one thing to get the keys, but it's another thing to
keep the keys.
That's right.
Come on, I see you, man.
Because a realtor, a mortgage professional will see you in your best financial picture, right? The best credit score most people have ever had, down payment, job. But one thing is, perfect picture rarely stays a perfect picture. Reality hits 6 months from now. Reality hits 12 months from now. Job loss. Okay, now you got all this equity inside the house. Babe, we want to refinance the house. You can't refinance the house even though you're paying on the mortgage because you don't have the ability to pay. Remember that perfect financial picture? Well, it's no longer perfect.
Yeah.
You can't get access to it because the bank says, you're gonna go as money based on our parameters, on our justification, because we don't think that with you dropping in income you can pay the mortgage back, even though that's your own money.
Gotcha.
Okay. Our terms, their interest rates, and their parameters. But if you put that money, as Patrick was mentioning, if you put that money separately into a side account that you can control, whether it be a Roth IRA, and sometimes people can't put money into a Roth IRA because they put too much money into it or they make too much money. So a maximum funded index universal life policy, if properly structured in terms of having the capacity to put the money in there, that's what you put the money in there, so therefore it can grow exponentially without any income tax involvement or any pre-59.5 withdrawal penalties.
5 gotchas. So what are the 5 gotchas?
First gotcha is losses. You got to avoid losses.
Okay.
Ups and downs in the market. People say, oh man, the market doesn't, let me buy some mutual funds. Right. Imagine retiring in 2022 when the market dropped like 23%.
Jeez.
You had $1 million in an account, now it's 700,000. Imagine retiring at that time. So imagine if you can remove losses for the rest of your retirement savings exercises that you do on a yearly basis. You remove that and you locked in 5, 6, 7, 8% per year, you're good, right? So you got to avoid losses because a 10% return requires a 12% return just to get you back to square one. A 25% loss requires a 34% return just to get you back to square one. And in 2 years, we just went by. So not only lose money, but you lose time for that money to grow in common just to recoup what you lost a couple years ago.
That's crazy.
Right? So you got to avoid losses. Number 2 is you got to have money for healthcare. They project that the average person retiring today needs another $400,000 on top of the retirement savings to pay for their health care. Case in point, my own parents. The reason why I wrote the book, Gotcha, I read about my favorite client. My favorite client's been a client for 22 years, 23 years now. Hasn't lost any money in the market since 2001. Now her money's being withdrawn without paying a dime in tax. Hasn't been hit by inflation. The reason why I read about my favorite client in that book, it's my mother. She's in a retirement community now. Right? She's 80 years old and my father's 85. It's $5,000 a month to live there.
It's amazing.
But they're not paying it.
Praise God.
The life insurance is paying for it.
Wow.
People think that life insurance is only for dying. No, it's life insurance for living. That's what the rich people know.
Got you.
In the hood, in a multicultural community, people think that life insurance is only when you're older, for funeral. Yeah, because lack of financial literacy. That's what people think life insurance is. Right? But you need it for healthcare. Athletes. I mean, what happened to Tyreek Hill this past weekend? His legs pointing this way.
That's crazy.
Right? Crazy injury, right? Who thought the cheetah would be injured in that way? And so to typical athlete, when first time we see our clients, first thing we establish your financial foundation, risk mitigation, risk management, have life insurance. If nothing happens to you with life insurance, that money inside the life insurance policy turns to money you can use right now to start businesses. Or if you get that type of injury, you're hobbling around now. Now you get money from your death benefit side of your life insurance. Healthcare. So losses, healthcare. Third one is taxation. Everybody knows rich people don't pay taxes. So I've asked the average person, how many people do you know get a job with salary and benefits? Right? Everybody. Okay, if you look at tax now, tax later, tax never, right? Which category does 401k and IRAs fall into? It's tax later. But all my money is in there. So our job as financial professionals is to move money from tax later to tax never. Anytime guys like us do that, there's a massive amount of commissions and income comes our way because we're educating people on how to do it. And by the way, the way we get paid on the insurance side of things, it doesn't come from your money. It comes to the marketing, advertising budget of the insurance companies we do business with. So if you roll over $200,000 from your former account to a $200,000 with our account inside an index annuity, $200,000 will be in there. Not $200,000 minus our fee, like we would do with a typical financial advisor.
And they're able to do that because it's compounding.
Yep. And then the fourth one is inflation. You got to beat inflation. Rising cost of goods and services. I asked a guy, I was doing a retirement planning workshop at a retirement community. Leon. His name is Leon. Okay? Leon from the 1950s. He says, Matt, look at that wall. All the veterans put their pictures up on the wall. I said, oh, that's pretty. Was that you, Leon? Yes, 1952. I was 21 years old. I'm 92 today. Wow. Crazy, right? I said, Leon, I'm just curious. What was the average person earning an annual salary in by the way, guess? What was what do you think the average annual salary was in the 1950s?
15,000
A year?
a year.
Keep going down.
10,000?
Keep going down.
5,000
That's right, $4,500.
a year.
A year. In the 1950s, the average salary was $4,500 a year.
That's crazy.
Now, Leon's in a retirement community. How much was I saying he was paying earlier? $5,000 a month. So think about our reality. Okay, the average person today is making $75,000 a year. Imagine 50 years from now.
That's what they're going to pay a month.
They're paying a month just to retire. That's why you got to beat inflation.
And I was
They
laughing.
say the average rent's going to go to $9,000 a month.
Crazy.
Within the next 10 to 15 years, or 15 years.
So when y'all was in the live last night, I was behind Matt in the car and I was laughing like internally because I was like, that's crazy because I think I heard y'all say something crazy like, yeah, $100,000 is really $65,000 today.
That's right.
Is that somebody?
That's
somebody
right,
say that?
100%.
And I was like,
Based on the
what?
depreciation
How does that? What? Like, I
Okay,
lost.
so what's the average mortgage on a $400,000 house?
Close about 2,800 or a little bit less, 2,500.
Is that both PITI?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say 3,000.
Somewhere
Okay, so something makes $100,000 a year. What's the first thing that gets taken off? Taxes, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's say
tax.
so now you're down to 80.
Yeah.
So 80,000 divided by 12. What's that? It's about what $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
So divide that into 2 paychecks. 6,000 is now
Well, 7.
3,000.
Yeah. 3,000.
What did we just say the average mortgage payment is?
That's crazy.
You see what I mean?
So
and then
yeah.
they got in a house now. They got to drive the Beamer. They got to drive the BMW. Average car payment now $650 to $1,000. You got 2 of
Utilities
them.
going up. Yeah.
So literally, how many people do this? If you have to take another check of the month to pay your car payment because you can't pay with your first check, you bought too much lifestyle.
Sheesh.
See, this is where I say middle class America. I've made this comment to you before. That I don't think middle class America was supposed to exist technically. I think what happened was because of capitalism being the great equalizer, doesn't matter your background or anything, you
Right.
can go out there and make some money.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. When somebody grew up in poverty, they didn't have anything, and they start making all that money, they don't understand how money works. They don't understand the
Yeah.
depreciation.
Yeah.
They don't understand, or inflation.
Yeah.
They don't understand, because inflation is technically depreciation of the dollar, right? They don't understand these things, and so they go get money. They go get in all this debt. And you're a slave to the guy who gave you the debt.
Yeah.
Versus if you could read the 5 gotchas and understand how to change that paradigm about money, right? You will actually start building wealth. There's a lot of guys going out there and they start making wealth or making the money, but they turn around and they blow it just as fast because now
Right.
they're
It's
making
scary.
more money. They can get the better car. They
It's
can get the
scary
better
how
house.
fast money goes, man.
And they don't realize. I mean, life is not always going to be that way. And in 10, 15, 20 years, what you're living on in that budget today is
So
not gonna be
basically,
that
you're
budget.
saying it's really the have and have-nots.
You're
It is
right.
It really
about
is.
to-
And again, the middle, they got caught
yeah.
You better make a choice right quick.
with the ability to make it, but the mindset they couldn't keep it.
So the middle class needs to keep the keys.
Yeah,
real quick.
and middle class,
100%.
for me, middle class is a mindset. You know, because I came from nothing. I mean, we're a family immigrated here from the Philippines with nothing, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my mom's first. Here's a job. Apply here as a job as a Filipino nurse. Michael Reese Hospital in Chicago, South Side, Chirac. By that's where I was born. Okay.
Oh, really?
All the Filipino nurses. What do you think in the 1960s a full-time professional nurse was earning per month? 1960 for a
1960.
Filipino nurse, different than American nurse. This is where
Okay.
racism kicked in.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Filipinos, because the average nurse was getting paid differently than a Filipino nurse. What do you think the average nurse was getting paid in the 1960s day shift? There's 3 shifts
per month or year?
per month.
Man, I'm scared to even add, but $1,000.
Close, $600 a month.
That's crazy.
As a full-time, 40-hour a week, 50-hour a week nurse.
You can't even imagine living on
Nurse,
Right?
and
Nurse.
the nurse is doing all kind of stuff.
This is a solicitation from my former hospital where my mother worked at,
Wow.
and that's where I was born. Mike Reese Hospital in the South Side of Chicago. 29th and Ellis, Bronzeville, right?
That's crazy.
And so today we have to keep pace with inflation. You know, when Starbucks was first bought, in 1987, they were selling $3 cups of coffee. People are like, "You nuts?
Yeah,
$3 cups of coffee? You
Yeah.
can get 50 cents."
correct.
What's Starbucks today?
$7.
That's right. They got to rename it from Starbucks to $7, right?
Seriously.
And on top of that, to add on DoorDash and Uber Eats, my daughter, she's making $20 an hour. She's 23 years old. I'm just ordering, what'd you just do? I ordered Starbucks. What'd you order? I'm probably just coffee. Babe, how much you just pay for Uber Eats to deliver you a cup of coffee?
Right.
She's not even thinking about it. Sweet, you realize, okay, your dad's this. You're raising this type of stuff. You're not thinking about, Bob, I just work so hard. I just want coffee delivered.
Entitlement mindset.
Why don't you go there to the kitchen and pop in a K-cup?
Yes.
Right? And make you a little some stuff. But you had to go DoorDash. Show me what you paid. $19. DoorDash fee and tip and all this stuff. Just deliver it a quarter mile down the street from our house.
Crazy.
It's a mentality. It's a mindset. Right? And so, rich or poor, it's a mentality. The Bible says we'll all be rich and poor, not for lack of opportunity, but for lack of thinking and proximity.
Really? What's that scripture?
There'll always be rich and poor. Let's look it up.
Yeah.
So I got one
wanna go
because
back
I
on
know
that.
I know your story, and I want to bring this out because one of my questions I wrote down: what failure or setback do you thank God for now because it prepared you for who you are today? And I think about the story that you told me about you walking in the middle of Chicago in the middle of winter, and
Jimmy John's moment.
the Jimmy John's moment. And so looking back, what failure setback do you thank God for now because it prepared you today to be able to handle what you're going through, to be able to be financially fit, because I know those things create a shift.
And you've been through this. By the way, the scriptures, Deuteronomy 15. Deuteronomy 15, right?
Gotcha.
There's always be poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open-handed towards your fellow Israelites who are poor and needy in your land. There's always going to be poor.
In your land.
Right? And before that was Deuteronomy 8:18. It was one of my favorite scripture. Remember the Lord your God, for he is he that gives you the power to create wealth. Right?
In Deuteronomy.
So same thing, Deuteronomy 8:18, right? Remember, this is the Torah, right? This is the Jewish books, right? So Deuteronomy is about the beginning of the Exodus, right? And before I get into that, what did the Hebrews say when they finally crossed all the miracles that happened? They finally crossed the daggone parting of the Red Sea. Now they're finally on the other side. Escaped slavery by the Egyptians. What did they say? Yo, bro, I'm hungry. Go home, I'm cold. We're in the wilderness. Man, it would have been better if we just been back to being slaves again. At least we had a place to stay. At least we had some food. It's a mentality.
That's right.
Back on slaves.
Right? What did Harriet Tubman say in terms of freeing the slaves? She says, I would have saved more slaves, except they didn't know they were slaves.
That's right.
Right? And think about the three biggest things we buy in entire life. What's the biggest thing we buy in entire life?
The house.
House. Second biggest thing.
Car.
Third biggest thing. Education, right?
Yeah.
Do most people in America buy them cash?
No.
That's how we're set. That's why we're in a rigged system. And the sooner we realize we're in a rigged system, the better we can start rethinking
right.
things. But to answer your question, the Jimmy John story, the breaking moment. Bro, the breaking moment is when my car got repoed. And I said, I'm still gonna remember I told you I'm gonna double down my faith? I'm still going to church, bro. Negative 20 degrees in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Negative 20 degrees outside.
How different
Kids were going
out
to church. Churches got reposed 3 blocks to the train station, another half-mile walk from the train station downtown Chicago to the church. And so we leave the house, man, right? We leave the house, we get in a train, we're warm up in the train. We get out to Union Station. Now we're walking from downtown to our church. And my daughter goes, Papi, I'm cold. Well, why did you bring your hat? Wait. I said time out to myself. You're the dad. Why are you yelling at your 6, 7-year-old daughter why she didn't bring the hat? You're the father. She doesn't trust your care. I said, let's go into the Jimmy John's and warm up. Next thing you know, free smells, right? Papi,
Yeah, free smells.
I'm hungry. Oh, I got nothing in the bank account, bro. Got nothing in the bank account. I got TCF credit debit card. I go up there and I said, let me get a number 12 without the drinks. I can't afford number 12. Just give me the sandwich and the chips. And I give him a credit card. All right, that'll be $12. And I'm like, swipe. Longest 10 seconds of my entire life. It felt like going in slow motion, bro. Swipe. Why? I'm a big eye, see if it goes through.
See if it approve, yeah.
Right? And they're like, okay, here you go. Oh, thank God.
Wow.
Oh, thank God. Here's your food. I finally get the food. I split like it was daggone communion. I take a bite, give it to the kids. All right, have at it. Go for it. I'm hungry too. Have at it. The kids are just dog. It's last time ever we'll ever worry about food again.
Come on.
I feed my family, put myself in the daggone position. I'm gonna get my faith Double down on my faith. But you got to double down. I also got to double down now, and just not on faith,
Yes.
but the execution and the faith of needing to execute. Because people say, let me get a blessing, let me get my scripture.
No.
No, man, you need to execute.
Yes.
Because it's not what you do on necessarily Sunday morning. It's what you do Monday through Saturday. Because that's your pulpit.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
To make a decision is a decision.
So
You decided.
Right.
You decided that
Yeah.
day.
And not making a decision, it is a decision.
It is a decision.
So I got another question for the entrepreneurs out there, the guys that are trying to be an entrepreneur, because in my entrepreneurial journey, 18 years of being in business in some form or fashion, and we talked about this earlier, like, your parents and people that you think are in your circle and they're going to support you and they're not supporting you. And imagine you knowing, like Moses, knowing, matter of fact, my son's name is Moshe. Moshe is Moses.
Oh.
Anyways, imagine being Moses, told by God that you're going to lead your people to become a nation, and they're going to leave out of slavery, and they're going to go into a place that's theirs, that they possess, and they're going to be wealthy and kings, and you're going to build a kingdom, right? And your failures, your faults, why you ran from your home in the first place, and now you're being called back to take those people from where you are currently, and you're leading them, and now you're leading them because, and in the beginning, they follow you because they're inspired by your conviction that I just heard from God, and we're headed over to the promised land, land of milk and honey. You're selling the dream.
Yeah.
But then you're out there, and all of a sudden, it doesn't happen as fast. Should be a 40-day trip, takes 40 years. And imagine, these guys are now starving in the desert, and they're like, Lee, man, is this guy did he really hear from the Lord? And I think every entrepreneur runs into this part of their journey of being in the desert, and you having people that came with you, and now there's a group of people saying, man, when we were in slavery, at least we had onions and onions. That's what you're like, land of milk and honey. Yeah. But slavery, we have onions. Like this land of milk and honey, we don't know how long it's going to take. You're trying to sell us on the dream. You keep reselling us on the dream. But at least I have security over here. I know I can 100%. Wow. Yes, slavery's not the best condition. But I know I can get onions. That being said, many entrepreneurs wrestle with self-doubt. We wrestle with rejection. What advice could you give a younger self or to that young entrepreneur about mindset when the wins feel so far away?
Yeah. So if it's not this path, then what? I was asking myself, if this business doesn't operate, fine, totally get it. You're reassessing your moves. Okay, if this don't really work, then what? Right? I'll go back to my job. That's not going to work either. Well, then choose the more difficult path. Pastor Keeley, he's just a pastor of our church. He just released a book called Choose Your Hard. Having a job is hard. Dealing with a budget is hard. Dealing with saying no is hard.
Yeah.
Starting a business is hard. Dealing with people is hard. Dealing with inventory is hard. So choose your hard, which long term will have you the most benefit for you.
Right.
Because oftentimes people underestimate what they can do long term, but overestimate what they do short term.
Right.
Now, I'm going to do this in 6 months. Bro, forget 6 months. Think about the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
What's the impact you're going to make?
Right.
And that's really where the mindset should be. Everything should be based on what that long-term picture and game plan is going to be. And if you allow yourself to think long-term, allows the more short-term hiccups start going away.
Hey, that goes back to your question earlier. When did that conversation change? I think my conversation within myself changed that. Because that I used to only put $5 of gas in my car because I was a knucklehead. I was going from 13 to 20. Every 2 weeks I'm in jail. If I get out, I go within 2. And so I had this short-term mindset. And then plus I had, violence, and I've had guns in my face, all this stuff, right? So to me, I didn't know if I was going to live till tomorrow. And I didn't want to put gas in that car and be sitting in jail. And then I just wasted
gas.
Yeah, and so I had a very short-term mindset.
Yeah.
And then when I passed 20 years old, and I didn't think I was going to live till 20, because I was out there like that. And when I made it to that age, I thought, dang, I made it. I made it past what I thought.
Yeah.
And then another year went by, and I was like, dang, I'm still here. And then when I hit 24, I was like, okay, now I got kids. I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
I got to think long term.
Yeah.
And my short term, and so it was never about like So when I joined real estate, it was late 2008. What's going on in 2008 in the real estate?
Great recession.
Everybody's like,
Great time.
Everybody's like, Pat, what are you doing? I said, I don't know. But what I do know is, and we was having this conversation with a guy earlier. He's trying to do Uber at night, and he has another job during the day. And my question to him is, I get it. Life is strenuous, and you're trying to work 80 hours. But here's my question to you: if you're going to put 80 hours into something, is it at least in the top 10 industries most likely to make you a millionaire? Yeah. Because if it's not, I feel like 20 of those hours or 40 of those hours, you're wasting it. Yeah. And you could be putting that somewhere else. Yeah. And so if you're going to spend 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours
you do it
trying to grind for your family, think long term and put yourself in a position, put yourself in that position where it's the industry most likely to make you a millionaire. When I found out real estate was number 6, and financial services was number 1.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I'm even in the wrong industry. It's in the top 10.
That's crazy.
It's in the top 10. It did well for me. But now I got to go. I got to go to the next echelon.
Yeah. We talk about in the book, Keep the Keys, we talk about being a drainer, a container, or a gainer. Right? So, for example, a drainer is a renter because they're draining their bank account to fill somebody else's.
Drainer.
Container. And gainer.
Yeah. I like that.
Right, you're draining. You got a job. You're just draining 40 hours a week, not saving, not investing towards anything. Right, boom, you're draining. Next, 5 years go by, got nothing to show for it. That's being a drainer. Now, being a container, maybe okay. Now I've got a business. I started something, but I got a house, but it's just contained within inside this ecosystem. There's nothing exponential about it. I'm not creating additional stream. There's no fruit. Remember, in the Bible it talks about you are judged by your fruit. Not only your blessing, but the fruit of that blessing upon to other people. If you're just a container, you're not sharing, you're not giving, or there's equity in your house, it's not earning a rate of return because there's trapped equity inside the house, you're a container. It's better than a drainer, but you're just a container. Now, the gainer knows how to unlock all that, how to level up, how to unlock my talents, my abilities, my systems, my process, scale, how to get my equity inside my house to earn a double compound return so I can invest into other things. That's being a gainer. We all have a choice.
I like it.
Every day.
I like it.
Drainer, container, or a gainer. Keep the keys.
Last question.
That's how you do that commercial right there.
Right.
Give my brother a book. You know what I'm saying?
Multiple books. It's not just one book, man. And so, but last question. You're known for building systems of success. And what's the single most important daily habit that separates 7-figure earners from struggling salespeople?
Yep. Buy-in with the wife.
Okay.
The buy-in with the wife.
The buy-in with the wife.
You think it's like what's an investment?
How about you about to say?
Yeah, right.
Cryptocurrency.
Right now, do I have teamwork in the home? Do I have that aspect? And do I honor my wife? Other times, guys, set out, man. I'm gonna make this, but I'm gonna skip out. It's my money. All the pride kicks in. If you want your wife to honor you, you better honor her.
Your wife. Praise God. I like
because we want it's receiving. We want to take. We never give. So if you really want the exponential factor, because things I don't have to worry about now. Remember, when I was playing, when I had game 20 years old, 4 or 5 different conversations going on at the same time. I forget their name and call her the wrong. That whole rigmarole, and then have to spend quadruple the budget on that stupid phase of your life. And the sooner you get past that, the better. And I realized that energy was all creative energy.
Wow.
But now it's in one entity.
Right. Gotcha.
My family.
I love
my business. My faith. Now she and I don't have to worry about trust issues. Babe, you want my phone? Here, give my phone. Want my DMs? Check email, text me. Go for it. You want to see my home screen of my Instagram and all that stuff? It's all about stupid videos anyway that kind of entertain me here and there. But there's nothing for me to hide. So if I really want success in my life, man, I can't tell you how much teamwork starts in the home. How many times do we see guys create wealth? Next thing you know, the wealth is divided up.
Yeah.
How many 60-year-old men have we seen create wealth next to go through divorce? Now, from a financial standpoint, look like 21 years old again because there was no teamwork in the home.
I love that because when I first met Pat, I did his photo shoot. And he was like, why I need to do that? I said, well, we need the photo, but I want the family because he was telling me about this amazing family he has. Like he's like,
sure does.
This guy, we got that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, let's do it. When last time you did a family photo shoot? And he was like, man, I forgot what he said. It was like been a long time or whatever.
Years. I hadn't done one with because I've been married twice.
Right.
And then when I married my now wife, we took a family photo with my previous
Yes.
my older kids, and so I hadn't taken one yet. And the funny thing is, I've had family members say, "Hey man, you need to take some more family
Yes.
photos."
Yep.
And I become a workaholic,
Yeah.
and I sometimes, but I also look at it like me and my wife knows, like, it allows me to be a workaholic because of the fact that she takes care of home and we play our roles.
She's amazing.
But when I come home, like, and you can ask any one of my, like, anybody that's ever been in I don't let a lot of people come to my house, but I've had a couple agents like Dame and Cam and a couple other agents that they've come to my house, and they know as soon as I come home, it's over.
Yeah.
No work, none of that.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
compartmentalize
Yeah.
because when I here, I have to give
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and I want to make. Hopefully, I don't cry when I talk about this, but the first couple of years, like when I had my Malachi, he's my 8-year-old now, and then Malia, she was supposed to be 6, and I'm in real estate. They grew up overnight. I'm in real estate. I'm working all day, and I thank God for the last couple of days that I had with my daughter. I had started having a pit in my stomach that I wasn't spending enough time with my family. And I remember the last 4 or 5 days, I kept waking up in the morning and like, I don't know, babe, I'm not going to work today. I'm gonna stay at home. I've got some pictures where I got the last moments with my daughter Malia because of the simple fact. And man, when that whole, cause Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like I got a video on my phone where I showed up and she didn't expect me to be at her jiu-jitsu.
I love it.
And I'm filming her wrestling with this little boy, and she
Yeah.
turns and sees that daddy's here, and she starts choking this guy, and, she's like, and looking at me like getting confirmation, like, "Am I doing good, daddy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you beating that little boy up in front of his mama that's sitting right here. Good job, baby." And I just spent time with her.
Yeah, man.
And that the morning that she passed away, we just laid in bed for hours, and I was just holding her, and bro. And it was the hardest and worst day of my life when I lost her. But out of that, like I made a commitment after that day that I got to be more intentional with my. I thought I was a good family. I thought I was a good husband. I thought I was a good father. But it was a checkup from my neck up
Man,
I
I told him to come with his
Bro,
family.
salute to you. How'd you talk through that?
I mean, like, golly. They got out the car. I did the photo shoot, and bro, when I tell you, just the most beautiful family.
Yeah. Is it out yet?
Yeah, I got the photo shoot. And matter of fact, it's on the Impact Society page.
Love it.
Go check out the
I
Impact
love it.
Society
Let's see it.
page. It's on his Instagram, and on the a lot of the material. And he was trying to figure out why. And once again, this is God downloading this for me. This is not me. I'm hiding behind this. It's not me. I'm not. But what I was when I met him, what I envied and I loved the most was about how much he kept talking about his family. Going back to what you said, buying with the wife, and here comes this beautiful, smiling person, warm, and it's his wife, and she is so cool and dope. You know what I mean? And I'm get to take these pictures, and I'm capturing these moments for him, and I'm like, this is what Impact Society should be reflected on.
Yeah.
Because it's about your family.
Yeah.
Going back to
Starts
the
there.
buy-in with the wife, being and Pat is an amazing husband. I seen his reflection with his queen, and shout out to my new sister, man.
You know,
she's amazing.
and again, when I'm looking for mentors and I'm looking for people, they say you never want to find a mentor that you wouldn't trade shoes with, right? When I met Matt, we have such similar like stories. Where I was a single father of 3 kids, he was a single father of 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
I married a beautiful black woman. He married a beautiful black woman,
Yes.
right? Very tenacious woman.
We're both Asian.
We're both Asians, right?
Forgot that. We like a rice. We like a rice for you today.
And so, but one of the biggest, when I saw the family man, because, he was a veteran, he's a faith-made man,
Yes.
right? He wrote the book Faith Made Millionaire.
Let's go.
And how he went from a Marine veteran to a millionaire based on biblical principles and stuff. But it was the family, man. And then even watching how, because I ran into that. Like, my older three were in my harder times.
Yeah.
My younger kids are in my better times. So sometimes it creates like
they get
this,
the best version.
Yeah,
of
but
you.
I can look at Matt and say, hey, I pick up game more than I just pull on him. But hearing his conversations and how he talks and what I'm learning that I'm a sponge
awesome,
when I
man.
get around.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being an amazing mentor to so many other people, bro. I've heard so many great things about you. Shout out to my big brother Johnny. He told me so many great things about you. He asked me to do a 3-way call. I said, no, I just want to meet him organically. I don't need that. I just want to meet you, and I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
My other brother Pat for his special day, Wealth Cigars, Wealth, and Whiskey.
That's
Man,
right.
that y'all going to be doing a couple of these all the way across the city. So I look forward to that. And shout out to you, Pat. Congratulations on Impact Society.
For sure. Congrats, bro.
Congratulations on everything that you're doing. I speak nothing but life and greatness in everything you touch, brother. Thank you for being amazing.
Woo!
Sir.
Love it.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all, listen. We are right here live, Impact Society. Do not miss your opportunity to go ahead and join Impact Society. It's an amazing situation. I get the opportunity to go ahead and be a co-host here in this one, but I'm definitely looking forward to people going in and definitely go ahead and get my brother's new book, Keep the Keys.
That's right.
Keep the Keys will be located. How can we buy Keep the Keys?
Amazon.
Go to Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, I am an Audible listener.
Yeah. It's not an audio yet.
I need that.
Yet.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely go to Keep the Keys. Definitely looking forward to getting the book. And are you doing some book signings tonight? So you brought some books?
Yeah.
I bought.
You bought a bunch. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a couple on me, but I'll give you one for sure.
Okay, definitely. So go to Amazon. Go get the Keep the Keys. It's your man Dream with Dream Motivates. I am right here live in San Antonio.
Let's go.
Looking forward to kicking in with my friends and family tonight, and for everybody else. Any closing words from you, bro? From Pat?
Now, man, again, this is Impact Society. This is what we're doing to bring value to you, is to teach you the mindset that it takes, to teach you the valuable information. But more importantly, when you get on Patreon and all, is to plug you in with our systems. You can try to learn from your own mistakes, or you can learn from somebody else's. And that is the fastest way to get to the success that you're looking for.
Right.
Is find people that are already there, have traveled that journey, and can help you. And that's why our motto here is each one reach one, each one teach one. This is Impact Society.